Hi everyone, Jordan Cram. I'm the CEO of Enstoa. The world changed on November 30, 2022. We did not know that a company, OpenAI, which only had a few hundred employees, was working on such a groundbreaking technology. Their product ChatGPT hit the market, and this chart kind of says it all. This is a chart that shows days to 100 million users. And that was not because it was a hype. It was because that solution is crazy useful. And I mean crazy useful. So people got a hold of it and they didn't let it go and they told everybody about it. Here's a construction executive sitting in front of a computer screen writing Python code. I last night created a prompt. I said, let me see if I can create a computer program to just output sunrise and sunset. I say, I'm going to give you a date and you give back to me sunrise and sunset. You see my prompt there? Off it goes to write that program. So it's finished writing that code. I'm copying it, moving it over to an application, saving, running it, and there it goes. It's asking me for the date. Let's process that for a moment. It took me longer to write the instruction and to type in the inputs than it took that application to actually write the code. Think about what are the productivity opportunities now. If somebody's good in Excel, good in coming up with ideas, yeah, they can write these simple applications. So what that does is that introduces massive efficiency for us. This chart is what researchers say around expected reduction in work hours. The blue dot shows the increase of productivity upon the release of generative AI. So essentially on that day, late 2022, there was a 6% bump in what efficiencies could be expected in builders. And this is by 2030. Now I'm very confident that these statistics are way too conservative. So the question is 30% right by 2030? Is it 40%? Is it 60%? Is it 80%? Is it 95%? It's really high. It's way more than 30%. Probably not 95%. But if you take the sum of all the work hours in your department and you apply this ratio, you can get an idea of how much capacity you are going to have access to. You may be asking these really, really important questions. Do I need to hire anymore? I don't think you do. Which jobs go first? And I want to say this is not about obsolescence or people losing their jobs. It's about opportunity. You may be wondering, what advice do I give my kids? I've got 2 teenagers. I think about this all the time. What does society look like when most people don't need to work? These are really big problems or opportunities. Is it my job to solve these things? Well, we're leaders. I think the answer to the question is yes. So kind of processing all that, what can we do? Where should we go? How do we react? Because we've been involved in a lot of crises, right? It's kind of defined our careers. And this is one that we want to be ready for. Let's kind of get our house in order, be ready for this, because this will have a large impact. Let me give an example of the impact with 3 companies. What it shows is the impact of first mover advantage. Let's say you begin the process of implementing these technologies in your organization. You get faster a month after you implemented them. And the rate of speed increases as well. Winner takes all. Company 2 strategy is I hope company 1 stumbles because I cannot catch them. And company 3 is I got no chance. Starting soon is really critical. And that's what we're going to move to now, starting with number 5, data. Let's use the concept of structured data. This is what you have in your project system, your space, your BIM, your engineering systems. That data is, if you've invested in it, if you've got it, you should thank yourself. You're going to be very glad that you've got that. If you don't have it, hurry up and get it. And this data also needs to be accurate. People need to trust the data. They got to make important decisions on it. We tend to over-collect. Well, we need to purge that. We need to be very lean, collect only what you need, and data needs to be fresh. Generative AI has unlocked a very exciting set of information for us, unstructured data. These are the boring documents, the PDFs, the 250-page contracts, the lease abstracts, the owner's manuals, that are sitting in a folder somewhere. Well, that information is now extraordinarily useful, and I think of this information as free gold. You got to sift it a little, you got to pan it, but this information indicates where your organization has been, where you are, and where you're going. You've got it today, but you're not really leveraging it. And so coming up with ways to organize it, prune it, get it ready for a machine to read it, because those documents were designed for humans to consume. Well, we need to get them ready for machines to consume. This is not a big effort, but I just want to make sure it's on your radar that you've got a real valuable asset in this kind of information. So get ready to exploit it. Okay, number 3, now we're going to shift into HR. Kind of HR strategy as it relates to AI. You need a hiring plan. You need a hiring plan for agents. The best way, I think, to process this is to use the employment construct. Use the idea that you've got a person. Now, it can be an agent, it can be a human. They've got a job to do. They have responsibilities. They need a mentor. And in my case, in our company, we created about 18, now 20 of these agents. We give them names, we give them email addresses, we give them responsibilities, we assign mentors, we have a lot of fun with it. Next up is human integration. I have assimilation there at the top because, of course, the first thing people are going to do is be fearful. Now, I think we don't have time to be fearful, honestly. It's a burn the boats moment. We got to go, and we got to go now. I just think it's best that we kind of put fear aside, get everybody focused on assimilating with these new agents, and be ready in your tiers and your levels to come up with new means for compensation. That's what I mean by share the wealth. Historically, we've been kind of time-based, right? Tenure based. Well, with these efficiency numbers that we're talking about, and we've been hearing throughout this conference, we got to rework all those complex HR systems. Those take time, right? Those policies take time. So tackle those head on. Number one here on the leadership prioritization, skills. So there are some skills in this integrated human AI organizational construct that are crazy important, like being detailed oriented. Computers are binary. They're accurate or they're inaccurate. It's a 1 or it's a 0. So individuals, and we're sort of analog, kind of fuzzy. But being detailed oriented, dotting I's, crossing T's is really valuable. I just kind of highlight that as an example. Those are good people to have in your org. Committed to the vision, very important. You need people really bought in because we want people to embrace, not resist. Functional knowledge. I kind of think that AI was written by old people for old people. So this is not so much a young person's game. Functional knowledge is very crucial because that's what creates memory for the AI. And you have those people. On your way back, or maybe later this week or the weekend, start sketching out an org chart and start to integrate those AI agents. So there's a boss and every boss needs a pal. And whatever your departments look like with these different functions, incorporating an agent or two within them. That you'll have somebody who's in construction, an agent that is very good at information retrieval. You don't have to waste time sifting through an email or clicking through a dashboard to get at information or getting details in the specification or what are the payment terms in that particular contract. You've got an agent who's just really good at doing that, and it does it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and never gets tired. And these are jobs that humans are not particularly good at, but the agents are really good at. And I think that's the main thing that you want to use. We tend to over-delegate in general, people, and in this case to technology. So we kind of think like, let the AI agent do like scenario planning or strategic scenarios for me. I think we just need to give them the donkey work. Like the donkey work that AI can do really, really well and really fast. So kind of use that as an example to think, where do I have tedious work? Where do I have highly repetitive work? And re-sketch the organizational chart accordingly.